childhood, the things of childhood interest sometimes can take us right into the rest of our lives. Like, have you ever noticed that as a kid, the things that you thought were fascinating, maybe you never put down? Now, I didn't become a stamp collector, although that was one of the things I loved as a kid. And yet sometimes...
You're still a collector, though.
Of what?
Well, of like cards and butterflies and all kinds of stuff.
Well, that's true. So the act of collecting. So maybe I just shifted what I liked collecting, and yet I don't do it for a living. Well, I do kind of collect houses for a living. So that's not bad. So I like collecting something then, and I still do now. And you may find that in your own life, that there are things that interested you then, and they still interest you now, except they took a totally different direction than you had ever anticipated they would. And so as we were visiting with family this weekend, Anita and my husband Ken, which you probably know, so he wasn't just visiting this weekend, he actually lives
I'm
here.
a permanent fixture.
He's permanent. And Anita was visiting from the Sunshine,
Gabriola Island.
Gabriola Island.
The West Coast.
Yeah, from the West Coast. It's sunny there. I was going to say Sunshine Coast. I know it's not specifically called the Sunshine Coast, and yet it's pretty darn nice. We have been to visit. And we got chatting around her childhood interests.
Yeah.
And how they actually became her life's work.
Yeah.
So we thought you might be interested just hearing that story and then be thinking about your own life and how that has moved you forward.
Yeah, so what did you do as a child
What did I do as a child?
that you enjoyed?
That you enjoyed.
What I really enjoyed was I always liked to work with or play with my hands. And we had a tannery in town, and they had a dump site where they actually put their scrap pieces.
A tannery is where they put the color in leather?
Where they dye
leather.
skins, right?
Yeah.
And the leftover pieces or whatever they didn't need, they put in a holding place, and then they would cart it off, right?
And you snuck into that holding place, didn't you?
And I found out about it, and I knew that they would have some little pieces, leather pieces, little change purses and stuff.
Okay, like a little
Yeah.
thing to hold your money.
Yeah.
All the money you had as a little kid.
Exactly.
Okay.
But one day I was caught by the owner.
Oh no!
And
You
she
didn't tell us this part before.
Well, she didn't like that.
She didn't like you taking those scraps?
No, because I was in the dump there, which was toxic for kids. You know, you wasn't supposed to go there. But she knew my parents, and she asked me into the office. And then she said, "You're going to sit down here. So tell me, why are you here? Why do you sneak in here?" I said, "I just want to get some leather pieces." "So what do you want to do with this?" I said, "I like making little things, right? I like to make wallets or little purses and stuff." And then she went into the back of the office and came out with a really nice piece of leather. And she said, "Here, you can have this, but don't come back. And when you're done with, you can use this and make something out of it, and you show me, but don't come back and go into the dump." Okay, so that was her deal with me. And I said,
Nice.
Okay, well, that's great.
Sounds
Wonderful.
perfect.
Wow.
Yeah. Free leather.
Yeah, exactly. And that
Not
was
free anymore, is it?
not anymore now. But, that's how I got started with leather. I always loved the feel of leather. I always loved the texture and how you can manipulate or how you can work with it. And at the beginning, I just glued it together. And later in life, after I studied fashion design and I did leather clothing, all kinds of stuff, I came back actually to my roots and started making purses.
Okay, let's see some. Because I
Well,
know it's what you do, and it's called Indian Summer Leather
Design?
Yeah. Okay, can't forget that design word,
Yeah.
because you're the designer as well.
Yes, right. Yeah, with my background in fashion design, I started making leather bags when I came to Canada. That was like 22 years ago.
Okay.
And I started just with a few designs, and at the time I was lucky I got into Cromwell Island, and that was the beginning of my career as a designer, as a bag designer.
Right, so now Anita's entire career and entire life and livelihood
Yeah.
is focused around making amazing leather purses
Yeah.
that almost last, which is the kind of neat part, almost last forever.
Forever, I know.
Right? So let's show off one or two.
What's this
Okay,
one?
well this one here, my specialty is actually having multifunctional purses and also purses that you can wear in different ways.
Which comes out of the fashion design.
Yeah. So this one here you can wear with the collar out, like with the design out, and you have a nice deep zipper pocket. Or if you want to, have a different look, you can also turn it around, and then you can wear
Now
it
you
with the
got
red
red
out.
purse, my favorite color.
Yeah, so you get two different looks with one style. And I also do Ben's bags. Well, this is a custom bag that I made for Brian. and it holds his laptop computer.
Brian is Ken's brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Oh, so it's got a little snap.
Yeah, and
And
it's
then you
padded.
can put your
Yeah.
That's
the
your iMac Air or whatever.
and then we use rocks. So this is a really neat feature as closures from on my bags
Come
because
close.
Come
Let's see
close,
this rock.
check it
since
out.
we live on an island, there's some nice beaches and there are lots of rocks on the beaches. So I go to the beach and pick up the rocks and I match them up, and then we drill holes in them, and then we put stone varnish on them, and then we use them as closures. So it's a really unique feature. And a lot of my bags have rocks on them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know that, and it's nice for you to know this too, that Anita's designs come from nature. They come from other people's art. They come from things that inspire you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's just really neat. So
Yeah.
including things like rocks.
Right.
And the bag that you were showing, I
Yeah.
think it's important you get a close-up of this, because how old is this bag?
Oh, this is like 3 or 4 years old that I've been using every day. I'm not changing bags. I
A
just use
4-year-old
one.
bag.
Yeah.
And the only thing she did, which kind of blows my mind, was to put a conditioner on it.
Yeah.
Well, this is it here. And
It's an all-natural product. It's beeswax and jojoba oil, and all you need to do is you use a little sponge and use it sparingly, and then you can put it on the leather, and it totally conditions and refreshes the leather and makes it look
Wow.
nice. You know,
So
the
I could
colors
use
come
that
off.
on Yetta's car seats.
You could on Yetta's car seats, on your
Yeah.
boots.
Yes.
You know, we could put some here on Brian's bag because it's been used a bit. So this waterproofs it and conditions it and restores leather.
And this is a very natural leather with
Yeah.
natural markings on it.
Yeah,
It's very
so
beautiful.
This is like a, Brian says it's a professor's leather.
Professor.
It is
Yeah,
professor's
it is.
leather.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, I just challenge you to actually check out Anita's bags. If this story's inspired you, or the quality of the bags have inspired you, or the design, there's lots more designs. We just kind of did this spur of the moment because it inspired me to hear about the history and how not only Anita, not only Ken, not only I, maybe you as well, have taken on a life interest that really developed when you were a little kid that took you all the way through. And maybe you're even thinking about your own kids. What things are your kids interested in, or your child?
Or what are you introducing them to?
Right, so
That
that
could
they
affect
can,
their life.
right, so that they could take on something
Yeah.
that may carry them indefinitely.
And it will make them happy and,
Yeah.
and satisfied and forever, you know, that you don't feel like you're working because you're doing
Forever
something.
young.
You feel like you're doing something that you love doing, right?
Right,
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
So if somebody wanted to check out your bags, where would they go?
You could go on my website and it's indiansummerleather.com, and we have lots of different designs on them. We also are on Facebook. If you like us on Facebook, you can check out our sites, and also you can contact us, and I can do some custom work, or you can change colors. So it's very up to you what you want to have, and we can customize.
Yeah,
Perfect.
custom bag. And
Yeah.
where would we?
Oh.
And this is on the website too. This
Yeah.
this miracle
Yeah.
cream.
We also sell it on Amazon. It's
Oh, okay.
Amazon in Canada and the US.
All right.
And it's
Yeah.
called Super
Super 7
Super
Leather
7
Balm.
Leather Balm.
Yeah.
Very
So-
cool.
Yeah, so just thinking about interest, what can you develop in your own kids, or even what interest did you have as a child that you maybe let go of, that you'd like to bring back? Because I see a lot of people pick up a second career or a third career that was actually something that was actually their first love.
Yeah.
So it's so amazing.
Yeah.
All right.